Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our second virtual Tai Chi Thursday series brought to you by AARP here in Houston. My name is Simone Olivier, Director of Four Dragons Tai Chi, and every Thursday from 10:30 to 11:15, we'll be continuing with our Tai Chi for Health practice here on the AARP Texas Facebook page. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, last week we were focusing on our brush knee, play the lute, and peri punch. And I got a little bit of feedback on the peri punch. It is a more complicated movement and form. So we're going to continue to drill that. What comes next is much more simpler movement, and you should be able to follow along and catch that much more quickly. So let's continue with our peri punch and also reviewing brush knee and play the lute. And just know that this is considered a beginner to intermediate. It's a transition from beginner to intermediate section of the form. So just know that it's, you're progressing, you're growing, you're learning, and it takes time. So give yourself time to become more comfortable with the movement. All right, so let's get started with our warm-up. Make sure that you have some space where you can move in all directions. Also, please know that if you need to or have to practice seated, you can practice this seated. And if there are any movements that are painful, please modify the movements so that you can practice pain-free, right? So that you can relax. When we feel pain in the body tenses up. And so we want to try to alleviate the pain as much as possible, allowing for the body to relax and allowing for the breath to be its fullest. So finding your space. And whether you're seated, the spine will be upright. If you're standing, your knees will be slightly bent. And let's take a few deep breaths in. Slowly exhale. Getting in touch with your breath and your body. Bring your chin down to your chest. Relax the belly. Inhale, back of the hands up. Exhale, palms back, chin tucked straight back, sliding back. And release the chin forward. Push out. Exhale, push down. And repeat. Turn your palms to face the thighs. Inhale. Bring your ball up in front of your chest. Let's open and close. Breathing in from the collarbones all the way down to the bottom of the rib cage. letting the breath flow down the spine into the lower back, and exhale. Gently compressing, inhale, expanding. And begin to feel your whole body expanding and contracting with the breath. And what we practice in the warm-up is what we want to practice in the form as we do open and close in this form. Gently opening up the neck, parting the wild horse's mane. Let your palm float out to the side, eyes following the center of the palm. Other palm faces down to the floor and by the hip. And coming back together. Exhaling to the other side, gently twisting the neck. And feeling that gentle twist in the neck spiral down the spine. And coming back to center. Bring your palms down to face the floor out in front of your navel. We're going to shift the weight. Gently press. Nice gentle twist in the lower back, massaging the kidneys, shifting the weight, strengthening the legs. If you're sitting down, press your left foot down into the floor as you twist from the waist, from the navel, and release that pressure. Press the right foot down. And coming back to center, let your hands face the floor out by your hips, elbows slightly bent, shift the weight, point the toes out in front. Let me step back so you can see my toes and step out to the side. Pointing out in front. And now reaching through the heels, pulling the toes back, tapping the heel on the floor. Standing legs slightly bent. And now making 2 gentle fists, shifting the weight, stepping forward with the heel, transfer the weight forward, extend through the arm without locking the elbow. Turning to the side and shift the weight back, pull and rotate the wrist, the fist back, shift the weight, lower your stance, step forward, extend out, pull back. Warming up the legs. Moving from the navel, from below the navel. Spine stays upright. And we take just a wide enough step. Not too small of a step, not too wide or too long of a step. And this time we're going to shift forward. We're going to bring the arm up, getting a nice gentle stretch in the front of the hip and into the deep core muscles of the spine. Opening this up helps to widen our walking gait. Reach up and slightly back. And bring it down. Shift the weight back. Step forward, extend out, shift the weight into a bow stance and bring your fist up. Reach up through the gentle fist. Open up from the front of the hip flexor all the way up into the middle of the spine. And bring it down. Shifting the weight back. And bring your hands to your lower dantian. We're going to shift the weight. And we're going to tap the little toe down to the floor and the big toe so that we can open up the ankles. Little toe, big toe, gently tap the floor. Good. And take a few deep breaths. And let's begin with some Tai Chi walking. Find some space where you can take 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 steps forward. You can have your hands resting at your lower dantian, on your hips, or behind you if your shoulders allow, whatever position works best for you. And we're going to start with our toes turned out and our knees slightly bent. And we're going to gaze forward. We're not going to look down at the floor when we walk. We want to look straight out and shift the weight to your left. Lift your right heel. Reach the heel out and turn the toes out. Let the foot come flat to the floor. Shift the weight. Keep the back heel grounded until you're ready to lift the foot. When you have all of your weight in your front leg, drive through that standing leg. You can post and then heel turn out on the left. Shift the weight. starting with a post and then step through, working towards stepping through without the post. And when you need to, just turn around from the post, step out, stay low, and glide the hips forward. So the hips go from being over the heel of the foot to right in between the heels. So it's like a martial wedding walk. You know how you walk, pause, and step. We're going to post, and on our next round, we're going to do it without the post. If you need to keep posting, feel free to continue with that and work towards leaving the post out, meaning that you just step directly through. Hips, heart, eyes, gaze stays level. If you're practicing at home in a seated position, just transfer weight between your left and right foot, pressing down into the floor, kind of like a cat kneading a blanket, right? You're going to be doing that with your feet. Now we're going to work on stepping straight through. Heel, turn out, shift the weight. Heel, turn out, shift the weight. Make sure that your weight is fully transferred before you pick up the back foot. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We want to stay grounded through center. So even though the torso shifts forward, we still have this back weighted sensation in the body. So we're not favoring the front of the body. We're staying balanced between the front and the back. One more round of Tai Chi stepping. Heel, turn out, shift the weight. Feeling your whole foot flat against the floor, and you're using that resistance to gain power and strength in the legs. Good. And come up to standing. Relax your arms down by your side. And if you are standing, take your heels up to your hips. If you need to, use the wall to help you with balance or a piece of furniture nearby. If you're sitting down, you just lift those knees up real high to open up the front of the knees. One more. Good. And shake it out. Shake anything out. Now let's work on the upper body. So seated or standing, the spine is going to be nice and long. And we're just going to work on the striking from underneath. So we start with our hands vertical, we'll say, and then we turn them horizontal. So one hand is underneath the elbow, and it slides forward underneath. As the bottom hand slides under, the top hand slides back on top of the elbow. This is sometimes a better view. And then we just turn it over. Strike under, pulling back towards the elbow. And you notice that I'm not staying, my shoulders are not staying straight, and I'm not just moving my arms. This isn't like a chopping kind of thing. I'm actually starting from my hip and my shoulder, and then front, going up to my shoulder, and then extending out through the arm. Whole body movement. Flip. My hip comes forward just slightly. My shoulder comes forward slightly, and then my arm extends out, and I keep a slight bend in the elbow. Flip. So this is the parry. And this hip movement can be practiced either seated or standing. As my right arm is extending, it's because my right foot is pressing down into the floor, pushing my hip forward. And this can happen seated or standing. My shoulder comes forward, my fingers come forward, and I flip. All the fingertips together, forming the shape of a spear. And this is mimicking the walking movement. All right, so let's go from the end of play the lute. The right hand is going to be forward. I'm going to move so you can see me better. We're pulling back with the left hand. The right hand is forward, and then we flip, parry, parry, and now punch. Fist and forearm turn over to a 90-degree angle. The inside fist, the inside hand makes a fist and crosses wrist over wrist. So it's just it's not a full extension. We're not fully extending the arm out. Both elbows are going to be slightly bent. Okay? And relax, roll your shoulders. Starting at end of play the lute, we're going to flip over, parry, parry, forearm blocking, and punching. Looking straight forward, open the hands and release down. Again, left hand in front of the navel, right hand in front of the heart. Flip, parry, parry, punch. Open and release. One last time without any cueing. And begin. All right, relax your legs, relax your arms, shake it out, roll your hands, open and close your hands, roll your ankles, your feet, relax for just a moment. And now we're going to go into putting the arms over the footwork, and you'll see how they match. So find your space for walking. We're going to start at end of play the lute. Right leg empty and in front, right arm in front. And from here, we just go from toe to heel. The right heel extends where the toes were, and we turn out as the foot turns, the hands turn. So everything mirrors. Heaven mirrors earth, earth mirrors heaven. Shift the weight, parry. Step through, turn out, turn the palms. Shift the weight, strike under. Step forward, toes stay forward. We block, punch with a follow step. Okay? So let's practice just the footwork for that because we haven't practiced the follow step. Let's practice the follow step with your hands in a comfortable position for you. Starting in our empty stance, end of play the lute. Right heel extends where the toes were. We turn out, shift the weight. Step through, heel, turn out, shift the weight. Step through, heel, toe, straight forward, shift the weight, follow step. Ball of the foot follows behind, and the heel is just barely touching the ground. And what should be happening is if you were to lift your left back foot up, it should be able to clear behind your right heel. I don't know if you can see that with my baggy pants on, but my foot is going to be behind, completely behind. All right. But all of my weight is in my right leg. And how do I know that? I lift my left foot up and my weight doesn't shift. That's how I know I've done it correctly, the follow step. All right, let's practice that 2 more times, just the footwork. Empty stance. Heel, turn out. Shift. Heel, turn out. Shift. Heel, toes forward. Shift. Follow step. Check your follow step. If you move forward and back, it means that you're transferring weight into your back foot. We don't want to transfer weight. We want to keep it in our right front foot. Okay? One more time. Without any cueing. So let's think about what's happening on the inside. Our gaze is forward. Our eyes are looking up and out, but we also have this internal gaze going on where we are very aware and conscious of our feet, where they are, and that's what gives us that sure-footedness, that good, strong foundation in the feet. Let's try it again one more time, just the footwork. Looking, gazing out, soft gaze, soft eyes, but turning the gaze inward and down into the body, all the way down to the feet, and begin. All right, so now we understand some of the internal processes of Tai Chi as we start to step and move forward in bigger ways. Let's add the arm work on top. Step, turn out, strike under, parry. Step, turn out, parry. Step toes forward, block, follow step, punch. Step back on the left. Empty stance, arms come down. All right, so moving on to the transition to the next movement called push the mountain. Let's practice this 2 more times. As you shift the weight, we strike, block, punch. Step back on the left. That's why the left foot is empty. It's an empty step with a trailing leg, trailing foot, so that we can step back on the left, uncross the hands, and just relax the arms down for now. Again, one more time, without cueing. All right. So let's review up to this point, reviewing our brush knee, play the lute, parry, parry, punch, putting the sequence together. Inhale, bring your arms up, and exhale, bend the knees just slightly. Heels under the hips. There should be about 2 fists between your heels. And inhale, full body breathing. Expand and exhale, compress. Shift your weight. Hook step. Shift the weight. Extend and post. Brush knee. Reach out with the heel. Shift the weight. Hands come across the body. Follow step. Pushing forward as the backhand pulls back. Play the lute. Step back on the left. Turn the palms inwards towards the center line of the body. And we shift as we pull the left front hip back. Parry, parry, punch. Step back, empty stance. All right, 2 more times. We check the time. Oof, let's do it 2 more times and then we'll be good. We're moving on slowly but surely, but we need to take time putting all of this together. And inhale, arms up. And exhale. Open, close. Shift the weight, hook step. Shift the weight, post. Shift the weight. Pull back with the back hand, push forward with the front hand, empty back step, empty follow step. Step back, shift the weight, turn the hips, play the lute. Peri peri punch, turn out. Turn out. Step forward, punch, follow step. Step back, uncross, empty stance, relax down. One more time from brush knee. And begin. Open, close. Without any cueing. Brush knee. Play the lute. Peri peri punch. Stepping back, relax down. All right, one more time. Smooth, gentle, gliding movements, remembering that inward gaze all the way down to your feet, knowing where your feet are and gaining that spatial awareness. Let's begin. Tai Chi helps to build overall body sensitivity. All right. And relax. I hope that you see or experience an improvement in your movements, in your coordination, in understanding the sequencing of the steps. All right. And I hope you're seeing some improvement. And I hope at the very least that you're just enjoying the slow rhythmic movements and the slow rhythmic breath. So let's close out our practice with some breathing techniques and a guided meditation. Inhale the arms up and exhale. Feel free to sit down now if you'd like to, allowing the body to relax more deeply. We've done a lot of leg work today. All right, and I'm going to also grab a seat so that we can sit and relax and meditate together for the next 5 minutes. Sitting with your hands in your lap. Letting your hips sink down. Letting your spine lift up. Letting the breath sink down into the body. Listening for the sound of your breath. Letting your breath become fine and smooth. Imagining that you are dropping a golden anchor down into the ground from your tailbone. And imagining a silver cord lifting up from the crown of the head, up into the heavens, up into the sky. Feeling these cords becoming thicker and stronger. And allow the energy from these two cords, from heaven and earth, to intermingle in the body, in your body, with your energy, letting it nourish all of the organs, the tissues. Let it fill up your energetic reserves in the body. Let it heal and repair areas that are maybe sluggish or sickly or needing repair. Let this light and energy flow into those areas. Accessing our own ability to heal. And let this healing continue throughout your day. Allow yourself to have maintain a sense of calmness and stillness within, as even though you move through your day, bringing this Tai Chi practice with you wherever you go. And let's take our hands up one last time. Nice deep breath. Hands together in front of the heart. Interlocking at the thumbs. The coming together of heaven and earth, of yin and yang. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. This is a challenging practice, so know that you are able to do challenging things and to learn and grow. Thank you again, and we will be back next week. And until next time, Dao On, wishing you peace on your path.
Hi, I'm Rosalinda Martinez with AARP Texas. We hope you enjoyed today's Tai Chi virtual class, Part 2, an intermediate course designed to teach you the complete form. We decided to expand the class because you told us you wanted more. We'd like to thank Li Fu, director of Four Dragons Institute Tai Chi for Health and Longevity in Houston, for leading the class. Tune in next Thursday at 10:30 a.m. for another lesson. Remember, you can catch this 45-minute weekly class on our AARP Texas Facebook and YouTube page. We've also put prior classes on aarp.org/Texas. This series runs through August 27. Thank you for joining us, and see you next